Jai Sai Ram. Sri Sai Satcharitra, chapter 43-44. Preparation. Samadhi Mandhir, breaking of the brick. 72-hour Samadhi. Jokes, Sannyas, Baba's nectar-like words. Chapters 43 and 44 continue the story of Baba's passing away, and therefore they are taken together. Previous preparation. It is a general practice among the Hindus that when a man is about to die, some good religious scripture is read out to him with the object that his mind should be withdrawn from worldly things and fixed in matters spiritual, so that his future progress should be natural and easy. Everybody knows that when King Parikshith was cursed by the son of a Brahmin Rishi and was about to die after a week, the great sage Sukha expounded to him the famous Bagavath Puran in that week. This practice is followed even now, and Gita, Bagavath, and other sacred books are read out to dying persons. Baba, being an incarnation of God, needed no such help. But just to set an example to the people, he followed this practice. When he knew that he was to pass away soon, he ordered one Mr. Vaze to read Ramavijayam to him. Mr. Vaze read the book once in the week. Then Baba asked him to read the same again, day and night, and he finished the second reading in 3 days. Thus 11 days passed. Then again he read for 3 days and was exhausted. So Baba let him go and kept himself quiet. He abided on his self and was waiting for the last moment. 2 or 3 days previous, Baba had stopped his morning peregrinations and begging rounds and sat in the masjid. He was conscious to the last and was advising the devotees not to lose heart. He let nobody know the exact time of his departure. Kaka Saheb, Dikshit and Shriman Booti were dining daily with Baba in the masjid. That day, 15th October, after Arati, he asked them to go to their residence for dining. Still, a few like Lakshmi Bai Shinde, Bagoji Shinde, Bayaji, Lakshman Bala Shimpi, and Nana Saheb Nimonkar remained there. Shama was sitting down on the steps. After giving rupees 9 to Lakshmi Bai Shinde, Baba said that he did not feel well there in the masjid and that he should be taken to the Dagadi stone Wadha of Booti, where he would be all right. Saying these last words, he leaned on Bayaji's body and breathed his last. Bagoji noticed that his breathing had stopped, and he immediately told this to Nana Saheb Nimonkar, who was sitting below. Nana Saheb brought some water and poured it in Baba's mouth. It came out. Then he cried out loudly, "Oh Deva!" Baba seemed just to open his eyes and say, "Huh?" in a low tone. But it soon became evident that Baba had left his body for good. The news of Baba's passing away spread like a wildfire in the village of Shirdi, and all people, men, women, and children, ran to the masjid and began to mourn this loss in various ways. Some cried out loudly, some wallowed on in the streets, and some fell down senseless. Tears ran from the eyes of all, and everyone was smitten with sorrow. Then the question arose, how to dispose of Baba's body? Some Mohammedans said that the body should be interred in an open space and a tomb must be built over it. Even Kushal Chand and Amir Shakar shared this opinion. But Ramachandra Patil and village officer said to the villagers with a firm and determined voice, "Your thought is not acceptable to us. Baba's body should be nowhere placed except in the Wadha." Thus people were divided on this point, and discussion regarding this point went on for 36 hours. On Wednesday morning, Baba appeared to Lakshman Mama Joshi in his dream and said, drawing him by his hand, said, "Get up soon. Babu Sahib thinks that I am dead, and so he won't come. you do the worship and the Kakad Arati. Lakshman Mama was the village astrologer and was the maternal uncle of Shama. He was an orthodox Brahmin and daily first worshipped Baba in the morning and then all village deities. He had full faith in Baba. After the vision, he came with all the puja materials and not minding the protests of the Maulis, did the puja and the Kakada Arati with all due formalities and went away. Then at noon, Babu Saheb Jog came with all others and went through the noon Arati ceremony as usual. Paying due respect to Baba's words, the people decided to place his body in the Wadha and started digging the central portion there. In the evening of Tuesday, the sub-inspector came from Rahata and others from other places turned up and they all agreed to the proposal. Next morning, Amir Bhai came from Bombay and the Mamlatar from Kopargan. The people seemed divided in their opinion. Some insisted on interring his body in the open field. The Mamlatar therefore took a general plebiscite and found that the proposal to use Vada secured double the number of votes. He, however, wanted to refer the matter to the collector, and Kaka Saheb Dikshit got himself ready to go to Ahmednagar. In the meanwhile, by Baba's inspiration, there was a change in the opinion of the other people, and all people unanimously voted for the proposal. On Wednesday evening, Baba's body was taken in procession and brought to the Wadha and was interred there with due formalities in the Garbha, the central portion reserved for Muralidhar. In fact, Baba became the Muralidhar and the Wadha became a temple and holy shrine where so many devotees went and are going now to find rest and peace. All the obsequies of Baba were duly performed by Bala Saheb Bhate and Upasani, a great devotee of Baba. Breaking of brick. Some days before Baba's departure, there occurred an ominous sign forbidding the event. There was in the masjid an old brick on which Baba rested his hand and sat. At night time he leaned against it and had his asan. This went on for many years. One day, during Baba's absence, a boy who was sweeping the floor took it up in his hand, and unfortunately it slipped from thence and fell down, broken into two pieces. When Baba came to know about this, he bemoaned its loss, crying, "It's not the brick but my fate that has been broken into pieces. It was my lifelong companion. With it I always meditated on the self. It was the very dear to me as my life. It has left me today." Some may raise a question: why should Baba express this sorrow for such an inanimate thing as a brick? To this, Hemabant replies that saints incarnate in this world with an express mission of saving the poor, helpless people. And when they embody themselves and mix and act with people, they act like them, that is, outwardly laugh, play, and cry like all other people. But inwardly, they are wide awake to their duties and mission. 72 hours Samadhi. 32 years before this, that is 1886 AD, Baba made an attempt to cross the border line. On a Makara Sankranti Purnima, full moon day, Baba suffered from a severe attack of asthma. To get rid of this, Baba decided to take his prana high up and go into Samadhi. He said to Bhagat Magal Sabadi, "Protect my body for 3 days. If I return, it will be all right. If I do not, bury my body in that open land," pointing to it, "and fix it two flags there as a mark." Saying this, Baba fell down at about 10 p.m. His breathing stopped, as well as his pulse. It seemed as if his prana left the body. All the people, including the villagers, came there and wanted to hold an inquest and bury the body in the place pointed by Baba. But Mahalsabadi prevented this. With Baba's body on his lap, he sat full 3 days guarding it. After 3 days passed, Baba showed signs of life at 3 a.m. His breathing commenced. The abdomen began to move. His eyes opened, and stretching his limbs, Baba returned to consciousness again. Jai Sai Ram.